What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. Another week of Champions League football. Cristiano Ronaldo out. Lionel Messi out. Erling Haaland through. Kylian Mbappe through. We spoke about it after the first legs. Is this the passing of the baton, the changing of the guard? You know, we can talk about individual performances from one or the other, but the reality is an era is really coming to an end. The powerhouses that we expect to be in the latter stages of the competitions, some of them are being overtaken. Not all of them. Some of them are still there. Bayern Munich, we know already they're through. Liverpool, they went through today. I'm not going to put Man City in the same category. Chelsea, they're on. They've got a chance. They've got a chance of going through, a very good chance. But I tell you, it's been a very, very interesting 2 days of Champions League football again. And we are going to get right into it. I've got a few guests in the background, bringing in Father, who has been here for all the Champions League roundup so far. How you doing?
I'm sad. I'm sad, actually.
I'm sad. We'll get to you why you're sad. I don't know why you're sad, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
We've got Ahmad here in the background, PSG fan, who must be delighted to be through to the quarterfinals. How you doing?
Everything is good, bro. I'm chilling.
And we have got the Jamaican kid as well here to share his views on the Champions League results. Really, listen, I'm going to start with yourself, Father. Why are you sad? I'm not under. Why are you sad? I've enjoyed, even though my team's not in the Champions League, and unfortunately Liverpool went through. I've enjoyed the last 2 nights of Champions League football.
Do you know what? As a neutral point of view, you idolize the likes of Ronaldo and Messi from when you're a kid. That I just think again. I think it's been coming for the last, at least like since Champions League started nearly a month ago, and I found at the stats that this is the first time in over 16 years, 16 years, we're not going to have Messi or Ronaldo in the quarterfinal stage, and it's the first time as well since the World Cup. Both of them are knocked out in the round of 16. So there's a is there a question? There's a next question, like you said, like is this the end of the era? But then we're going to come into that later on.
I'm going to come to Damien next. I know he just came. I'll come to Damien next as the Barcelona fan. Is this the end of an era for Barcelona? End of an era for Lionel Messi? We know there's issues regarding his contract situation, but we know that you've got the new president recently. How did it come to this? That Barcelona from 8-2 last year, 5-2 this year, 3-0 down, 3-0 up, against Liverpool the year before to go out. How has it come to this to Barcelona? How do you explain this exit?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows that it comes from the top. The president didn't refresh the squad when obviously we were in decline. I think 2018-19 was the perfect way to, pretty much, say goodbye to, Busquets, PK, all of these, the old guard, and, let some of the youth players, come up and maybe buy some, other players from other teams. But, I mean, it's like, yeah, it just comes from the top. I mean,
in terms of tonight's performance, before we go to Ahmad, but in terms of tonight's performance, were you happy with the performance in terms of the fight? Because after losing the first leg 4-1 at home, I'm sure you must have been worried that we might get another 4-1 battering, for example, end the 8-2. We're going to be the butt of all jokes. But I think most people are saying, well, Barca's out, but Messi played well, Barca played well, a bit unlucky maybe with some of the decisions.
To be honest, I mean, I'm pretty okay with the way we played. I felt like we messed up with some of our chances, especially with Dembele. I mean, he had like 2 clear-cut chances that should have been put away.
He was shocking today. I'm not gonna lie. In the business end, when you needed him to come through, he missed a bunch of chances. Even before PSG got their penalty. Let me come to Ahmad. I'll talk about the penalty. A comment here from Monster says Ahmad, Chelsea top 3 in Europe. Well, if Chelsea do their job, then maybe they might meet PSG in the next round. Pochettino against Chelsea once again, if they do it. But on PSG, Ahmad, that penalty, you think you're a bit lucky to get that?
No, the thing is,
No?
look,
All right, go on.
no,
Tell
listen,
me, tell
listen,
me.
listen. In my,
Mm.
I don't think it's a penalty generally.
Okay.
However, if you watch their first penalty, it's the same thing. Kurzawa accidentally trips on what's his name, De Jong, and this is the other way around.
You mean
Icardi,
their first? Oh, you mean in the
first game,
first leg? Okay.
and the penalty they got, he tripped on him. Now
Mm.
Longolet tripped on Icardi, and you saw it. His boots were out. So for me, it's a definite penalty if you want to give the other one a penalty. But I think it's
I
soft
get
now.
that. I get that. Go on. In terms of the performance, what you make of the performance, and the fact that you're through comfortably, I guess 5-2. 4-1 up from the first leg. But in terms of the performance today, were you a bit concerned that you were giving Barca so many chances, or was it always a bit relaxed for you?
The thing was the first half was the worst first half I've seen in a long time. That was a disgusting first half by PSG. Barcelona were all over us, and the thing I get impressed with, and then this happened again, Pochettino making the right decisions. First, in the first game, he took off Idrissa Gueye when it was looking like he was getting a red card.
Yeah.
Now in this game, he took out Karzawa, who was absolutely shit, got rinsed by Dest, and put a Diallo. Diallo is a really good defensive fullback. So for me, Pochettino made the right mistakes, and I think, if you compare this team to the other teams we have had, the big difference is the goalkeeper. Navas, man, what a goalkeeper!
What a performance!
What a
I mean,
class goalkeeper!
because
Guys,
if Messi scores that penalty, like me personally, I don't think it was a penalty. Okay, on the first one, again, I understand the whole if you give one, you have to give the other. I can't remember exactly the first leg penalty, so I can't comment on that. But in the Premier League, we had a penalty incident with, I don't know if the penalty was, I think it was a penalty, yeah, with David Luiz and William Jose. And David Luiz ran in behind him, accidentally clipped him, but intent isn't a factor in the law. It's about whether you did or didn't. So we did trip him, stopped him from getting onto the ball and scoring, got the red card and a penalty. With this one today, again, intent isn't in the law. So I understand that there was an accidental trip, but a trip is a trip. But because Icardi was nowhere near close to playing the ball, getting the ball was never ever going to reach him. For me, it was a accidental coming together in an area that I would have liked to see a penalty given. But as you said, if there's something similar that's happened before, then you have to give both. I can't relate to that first incident because I haven't seen it. But the difference between this one and like the David Luiz one is that William Jose was running in on goal, about to score or have a chance to score, whereas Icardi was, the ball was never going to get to him. So I think it was
I
a
agree with
very,
you.
very harsh penalty. But I get that. With the second penalty, the Messi penalty, or the
That was
Barca,
also good stuff.
I don't think it was a penalty. I mean, I've only seen the replay once, so I could be wrong. But
Karzawa
I'm
is a
sure
clown, though.
Kazawa kicked the ball. He kicked
He's
the
a
ball.
clown. He gave the first penalty away in the first leg. I don't understand why he's keep doing these silly mistakes. Like some games he plays like prime Roberto Carlos, and some games he plays like freaking Karzawa. It's insane. The guy is so average. That's a
Fraud
position.
watch.
Yeah,
Fraud
that's a
watch.
position we need to upgrade on. And I need to give credit to Marquinhos. That block on Messi. Oh my God! It reminded me of when you played United, and I think it was Martial who was about to shoot, and he made the same block. The guy is
Don't
insane.
worry. Marshall wasn't scoring anyway. This guy can't hit a bando with a banjo, man. It's
He's like
terrible.
Dembele, class A finishing.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
bring
man.
on. I'm gonna bring in Jamaican kid. Peter, we're talking about the PSG Barcelona. What did you make of that game? From both sides, Barca and PSG.
I believe that it was just bad luck, just unlucky.
What for Barca?
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Neeks, if that was Alan with those 2 tries that Dembele scored, those are 2 goals.
I get that, but no, I get it, but it's not unlucky. You're just not good enough. It's like Man United when we played PSG in that game at Old Trafford. Martial misses an open goal. Now it's not unlucky. You're not good enough. That's all it is.
But all right. Neeks, on the penalty, I missed the penalty. Did you see the picture when Verratti was in the D before the penalty was being...
yes. I see. I saw the picture. I didn't realize it was Verratti who cleared it, but he did apparently. He cleared it
exactly. And the rule says that nobody should be in the enclosed D at the edge of the box doing a penalty.
Yeah.
And this man was standing right in the D.
This is another issue with VAR because I guess in that sense, yeah, if
And-
Verratti was the one who cleared it, it should have been retaken.
And then
But I don't think it was a penalty in the first place, so
But
I was
Neeks-
kind of like justice.
On the next one with Navas, that has to be a penalty. We are seeing less than that given.
What, for the arm?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Ah,
No,
come
it was
on.
too
This is not the
soft.
Premier League.
It would have
man.
been too
It's not the
soft.
Premier League.
Yeah. If it was the Premier League, it would be a penalty.
This was a Premier League referee. It was one of the shittest referees I've seen.
and he was a Premier League referee.
Fair.
By
No,
the
but
way, I just saw the Kuzawa incident inside that penalty box. Yeah. I saw the angle from the
Yeah, Griezmann.
the
Yeah,
left side. I think it's a bit reckless.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he could have done much better. But I just think again, like I think he's not necessarily need to do that. To be fair, because he was never going to win the ball anyway.
yeah, never.
No,
never.
yeah, he wasn't. It was reckless. It was stupid. But wait, okay, you're watching it. Who won the ball? Who kicked the ball first?
Single Griezmann though.
Oh, okay.
Griezmann.
Well, I said when I saw the first, I've only seen one replay. It looked like
it was
fair
Griezmann.
enough.
I didn't
Fair
watch it
enough.
back, yeah.
fair enough then. We just brought
Neeks,
in.
go
on. Sorry, go on.
But the damage was already done from in the first leg, so the Barcelona could have just went out and just played for pride and you understand.
No, I hear that.
The damage was done already.
I mean, we're not gonna. We might see a few, but there's probably not gonna be many memes of. To be fair, I was gonna say Messi today, but he missed the penalty, so I'm sure they'll find something.
No, that was
They'll find
a brilliant save by Navas.
It was down. It was
going
kind of down the middle. It was kind of
going
down
in.
the middle.
It was going in.
Of course, it was going in. It's supposed to hit the target, in it, but it is what it is. I mean, if it had gone in and 2-1, I think it would have been a very interesting second half. But yeah, 1-1, 45 minutes to get
But
3+
Neeks,
goals.
Aman, aren't we going to talk about the PTSD of PSG? Because in that first 30 minutes, I was wondering if Line was about to strike twice.
Okay, let me ask Ahmad before I come to
Yeah,
Josh.
Ahmad.
Let me ask Ahmad, what is it with PSG and these moments? It seems like whether it's the Barca PTSD, the Man United PTSD, I don't know. You'd think after last year, getting into the final, etc., that they should be much more confident at this stage. And it seems like old habits die hard. Like I was actually fearful that Barca could come back today.
Because you guys are overreacting, man. I was chilling. I knew we were going through. No, the difference with this is Neeks. We have world-class players now. Marquinhos, Navas. I rely on these guys. Kimpembe. These are good players. But I agree with you. The first half was disaster. We didn't create anything. We couldn't keep the ball. But in the second half, with Pochettino's changes, I think it was a pretty even second half, to be honest. So no, I wasn't worried.
Fair enough. I'm going to bring in Josh here with still talking about the PSG Barca. A comment here from Mohammed says Barca played much better than PSG. A lot of chances missed by Dembele and Griezmann. Nowhere to be seen. Messi played very good, and what a goal! Crazy.
It was that good.
It's a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. It's what Messi can do. Unfortunately for Barca, it's always about Messi. It's Messi or nothing. Is that the issue? The fact that no one else is really contributing, or do you think it's I don't know, maybe PSG are just too good for them?
They're not at that level anymore, Barca anyway. It's the end of their cycle. But I feel like they're actually going in the right way with the young players, like with Dembele, Pedri, De Jong, and all them, man, because they kind of look towards Messi. It's not a thing of when they had Suarez and all them, man, where they're on the decline, innit? So all they can do is look to Messi. It's almost like these guys are, you be in charge and we're just behind you, working with you. But it's just that they're not of that sufficient quality yet. And you can see that over the two legs, PSG are just a much better all-rounded team than them. So, I mean, when you watch the game, Barcelona as a whole, they did play well. They created a lot of chances, but, I mean, Dembele, he didn't take his chances, innit? That's how it is.
Before we move on to the other games, I just want to ask Ahmad in terms of PSG's chances of going through, of winning the the tournament. Are you confident that you can, I mean, at least repeat your last season of getting to a final, or you think there's a few hurdles that you're not sure they can get over?
Listen, this is ridiculous for me to say, but the only hurdles are to keep everyone fit. That's the only thing with PSG. We never have a
Wow.
fully complete fit team. There's always someone who's injured. But the only teams I fear in the Champions League are two, and it's Bayern Munich and City. I think those, out of every team in Europe, I think we are top three: Bayern Munich, PSG, and City for to win the Champions League. Um, but Neeks, I need to say something more. Why are you
Go on.
guys saying that it's the end of the era for Messi? Look, Penaldo, he has been done for a long time now.
Whoa,
The
whoa,
guy
whoa,
is
whoa.
such
Okay,
an average
go on,
footballer.
No,
go.
He
but
can't dribble.
Wait.
No, no, no.
Carry on, Ahmed.
So,
When he dribbles, it looks like someone put a stick in his bum. Like, this guy is so bad. If he doesn't score a tap in or a penalty, he's so average. He's actually bad for Juventus. The only Pirlo is scared to take this guy off the pitch because it's Ronaldo. Everyone will be shouting at you. But the guy was contributing absolutely zero. He was making things worse for Juventus yesterday. And you want to put this guy on the GOAT conversation?
All
He's not
right,
even
listen.
close to it.
Let's have a conversation. I'll have a conversation in it. Let me go, because first and foremost, there's about 2.5 years but 2.5 years difference between the two of them. So obviously Ronaldo being 2.5 years older. So if we're going to talk about end of era for Messi, that's Messi at 33. What was Ronaldo doing at 33? Top goal scorer in the Champions League, 2018. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or. That was
No.
Modric. But top goal scorer in the Champions League. He scored a hat trick against Juve in the semi, including the overhead kick. He didn't score in the final, cool, but they won the trophy, was their third in a row. So if we're gonna compare like for like, that's what Ronaldo was doing at 33. This is what Messi's doing at 32. Well, 31 against Liverpool, 32 Bayern, 33 PSG. So if we're gonna compare on finished, that's what we have to look at. What is Messi going to be doing at 36? We have to wait and see. We don't know. He could be at Man City. We have no idea what's going to be happening. But if we're talking about Ronaldo, what does he contribute, etc. I accept that at 36, he's not going to contribute what he used to. He's definitely a lesser footballer than what he was at his peak. But at his peak, he was an all-time great. And there's a lot. I don't say he's the greatest player of all time. Personally, I don't think it's Messi either. But a lot of people do. No, but that's fair enough. But I understand why people say Messi's the greatest. I understand why people say Ronaldo is the greatest. In my lifetime, personally, Zidane is the greatest for me. And I have my reasons, which I'm not going to get on to today. It's another whole discussion. But Ronaldo is right up there because people talk about this, tapping merchant, Penaldo. He adjusted his game from about 2000, I want to say 2011, 12, around that time, where he became much more focused on goal scoring. Everything prior to that, so let's say from Man United 2003 right up until about 2011, he was an inside forward. He would run, he would dribble, shoot from outside the box, shoot from inside the box. His first season at Real Madrid, he was scoring a lot of free kicks, like his last 3 seasons even at Man United, where he was scoring a lot of free kicks. He limited his game to really and truly to prolong his career. I do believe that he doesn't offer much to Juve, especially this season, because all he does is score goals. You need creators behind him. And I see, even last season, when Dybala wasn't there, he was very, very ineffective because there was nobody there to create.
Yeah.
But when Dybala was there, he was a goal scorer, and he was a guaranteed goal scorer. I haven't watched Juve as much this year, but Dybala wasn't there today and yesterday, and they're struggling to really create many chances. Is he a detriment to Juve? Maybe yes, but are you going to judge him as arguably a GOAT because of how he's performing at 36? I think that's very, very unfair.
No, because I will tell you why. In Real Madrid, they have one of the best squads we have seen in a long time. He relies on other players. When this guy doesn't get supplied, he cries for penalty. Did you see yesterday how many times he tried to cry for penalties?
I mean, he should have had a penalty. He should have had a penalty in the first leg. At the end of the first leg, forget that he did. He should have. But what do you mean he relies on other players? Do you know how much times he's dragged Real Madrid? I spoke about the hat trick against Juve. He has dragged Real Madrid. Him and Messi are different types of players. I get that, but he has dragged Real Madrid many, many times. So
I agree. In terms of being clutch, yes. However, he can't impact the game like Messi does. Messi can do so much more than this guy. So I don't really know how this guy is
Okay,
putting.
put like this. Put like I see it as a footballer. Messi is a better footballer than Ronaldo. It's not even a debate. Even at their
Even
best,
Hazard's better than him.
no,
I'm joking. No, as a footballer, Hazard is. Hazard is as a footballer.
Well, technically speaking, yes, Hazard is better, and Messi technically is obviously far surpasses both of them. But football is more than just being technically great.
Yeah,
Ousmane Dembele is technically much better footballer than Marcus Rashford. Who is better right now? It's Marcus Rashford. Because Dembele is not doing anything. He's not producing. Yeah. So the amount that Ronaldo produces and the longevity for which he's producing, for me, puts him right up there with Messi, even if ability-wise he isn't as good. Because the way he has dragged, or whether you want to call it clutch moments or what, but the way he's got his teams to win, however he's able to do it, got his teams to win trophies, got his team to, and that's internationally as well as for club, different leagues, different teams, different styles, and he's done it in all those places. That for me puts him right up there, even if he can't drop in and create a chance like Messi and over the top or a split through ball. There's different ways to skin a cat, and he skins a cat very, very well. Again, if you want to say Messi is greater, but yeah, as a goal scorer in the last, let's say 8 to 10 years, but his career is longer than 8 to 10 years, and that's why he's right up there, because he's been doing it. He's done the dribbling, he's done the crossing, he's done the fancy flicks and tricks, and then he reduced his game. Someone in the comments, quickly says Messi didn't have to change his game, but that's not even true, because when Messi started, Messi was a winger, inside forward / but he was a winger on the right hand side. Messi has changed his game multiple times. He became a false nine at times. Even now, he drops deeper to create. Not that he can't still score, but he drops deeper to create. So to suggest that Messi
attacking mid moreover,
to suggest that Messi didn't change his game is untrue. Messi knows that his body just can't do what he used to do because he's getting older. Messi is much more pleasing on the eye. I think people like the aesthetics of it, but to try and downplay Ronaldo as a tapping merchant, Ronaldo, or to downplay Messi in whatever way that people do, I think it's not. I'm
telling you, this season the guy has been Ronaldo, because I watch a lot of
He's 36 years old. Forgive him. Forgive him.
No, Neeks. Do you know what my problem is? The guy scores a penalty or a tap in, and then Twitter accounts like BR Sports put it out.
The goal.
That's the thing now with that. No, that's the thing now with football. I feel like, obviously, I love players that are technically gifted, but I try my best not to discredit goal scorers, and I feel like that's happening a lot more, because we see with Bruno as well how people like to just downplay him. Oh, he's just a stat merchant. There is some truth to it, but you gotta appreciate and give him credit for what he's doing, innit? Obviously, Bruno's not my favorite player, and I'm not gonna say, oh, I love watching Bruno, but I appreciate what he's doing. He's putting down numbers, and
he's a match winner
to score the goal. Yeah, exactly. You do have to give them credit for that. Obviously, I do understand what Ahmed's saying in terms of, like, you're saying this guy's the greatest, but all he's doing is scoring a header. 90 minutes, he's not doing nothing. So how can this guy be the GOAT? So I do understand both sides of the story, innit? But it all depends on what you value in football.
Let me give you an example. Now, again, in terms of players, R9 is a better player than CR7.
That's a perfect example.
But you look at the 2002 World Cup. For me, Rivaldo was the best player in that World Cup. He scored goals, he created goals. In the final, he didn't. It was his shot and then his dummy that led to the 2 goals. R9 scores the 2 goals in that final, and his name goes down in folklore because he won the World Cup, and rightly so, because the goals are what ultimately wins the matches. And the reason why goal scorers generally go for the highest amounts, generally, it's not always the case, but they generally go for the highest amount, because goals win matches, and scoring goals is unanimously agreed that it's the hardest part of the game. It's easier to defend.
I hate that.
It is. But I'll tell you why. Because you look at a team like let's look at my in the Premier League, West Brom, Burnley, Crystal Palace. What do those teams What do those managers say
Yeah,
their
they
team
sit
has to
back.
do?
They sit back.
To
Yeah.
defend, because
Yeah.
defending is easier than attacking and scoring goals, because really what you have to do is get your body in the way to stop it going in, whereas
That's
to
the
score a
Premier League.
goal you need to be but wherever it is, defending is easier. Jose Mourinho went to the Camp Nou and put 10 men behind the ball, and when
I agree with you.
when
Neeks.
Thiago Motta got sent off, he was like, thank you, because now I don't have to
But-
attack at all, because defending is easier than attacking. So when you got someone who scores goals consistently, that right there is a reason why their name is going to be up there. So whether it's the 90th minute, it's like a keeper who doesn't do anything all game. Petr Cech didn't do nothing under Jose Mourinho's 2004-5 and 5-16. But the moment he got called upon, whether it's once in a game, he was there to make that save. And people said he's the best keeper in the world, more than someone like a Paddy Kenny or a Brad Fiedel, who was having to make 6, 7, 8, 9 saves a game. That alone is a testament to a person that you might be out of the game, but when your team needs it, you're there to score. Who wanted to come in?
Yeah, I was all right. I was looking at an example. I wasn't old enough to see it, but through time, I was research. When Michael Jordan was at his peak in the 90s, he was blown by everybody. But when he retired, I think he retired in the last championship was, I think, 98. Yeah, 98.
Yeah, when he left.
When he retired.
At the Wizards, or you mean after the Bulls?
Yes, at the Wizard.
Okay.
People take that sample size of the Wizard and use that and discredit all those 10 years that he was wrecking the league.
Facts.
Saying that he's not the GOAT. Of a small sample size of about it was 3, but
Yeah,
3
2 or
years.
3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that small sample size of 3 years to discredit those 10 years when he was on top. And I believe that it is the same that is happening to Ronaldo.
I agree, and I don't know how old everyone is here in this chat, and we know that I generally get the general age of what we call football Twitter is younger than myself. I'm 29 years old, so I watched Ronaldo 2003. I was 12 years old when he signed for Man United, and maybe I have some bias as a Man United fan, whatever. But I've seen Ronaldo do it all. Whereas a lot of people will grow up and they've just seen the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry. They see Messi doing, playing this beautiful football with Barcelona. Because it wasn't just Messi, Barca played the beautiful football. Real Madrid were like, I wouldn't say this is the anti-football, but at times it kind of was when you had Jose and you had people like Pepe. They were just like getting hard for the tackle. Ramos, yellow, red card. It was like beauty versus the beast. And Ronaldo was the face of the beast and Messi was the face of the beauty. But I'm privileged, actually, that I've seen the beauty side of Ronaldo's game when he's running past in the 80th minute or 87th minute past all the man at Fulham and cutting in and scoring, or seeing what he's doing against Arsenal in the Champions League. But I've also seen the cold-blooded killer side. It's like, I'm not here to entertain you, I'm here to win. So I'm just going to be where I need to be to win. Why am I wasting my energy to do X, Y, Z? And for me, it's about what you like in football. Me personally, I like to win. And I don't care. I don't really care how you do it. It's as long as you get there. Whereas some people are more, I guess, the purists, where it's like, the ball has to be on the ground. Why are you going long? No, if I'm quicker than you, hit that over the top and let me go in it. So,
Hey, Neeks, were you a defender? Were you
no,
a defender
I don't know.
day?
No, I was a right winger actually. But I model my game off Mark Overmars. And Mark Overmars all about pace. So I'm just like, put me in behind because I'm gonna blow my fullback all the time. I don't have to do step overs and all that kind and chopping. No, I'm quicker than you. Let's go. That was me, innit? So maybe it's a bit of the way I play my football as well, how I liked it.
That's more about the team. That the only end goal is to win. But when you watch individual players, then I don't think it's about just winning and achieving things, because that's more a team thing. When we look individually, I think Messi is clear over Ronaldo. Easy.
Okay, but when we're assessing their whole career, you can't just look at who could pass better or who had a more accurate shot. You have to look at, all right, if your passing was better, how many game-winning assists did it lead to? If your shot is better, how many game-winning goals did it lead to? Because there's a man called Adel Taarabt who was one of the most technically gifted players we see in the Premier League. But he wasn't able to produce it week in, week out. And I'm not saying Messi couldn't, but if we're comparing the two of them and say, what have you achieved in football? They're right, they're neck and neck.
Yeah, they're
So if
close
you-
in achievement-wise, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but achievement. When I say achievement, I'm not just talking about you won this, you won that, because again, team play comes into it. But how effective you were on the pitch. So if Messi wants to start the move at the beginning and then finish the move, cool. But the finishing the move is what matters in the end. If Ronaldo's just there to finish the move, they were both still as effective if they both won that game, if they both won that tournament, if they both won that title. Listen, I don't even want to really get into a whole Messi Ronaldo debate, but Ronaldo is not a tapping merchant or Ronaldo. If you want to call him that, if you want to call that at 36, I'm not going to argue with you. That's up to you. But so if he scores and BR say the GOAT, they're not saying he's the GOAT because he scored a penalty. They're just saying he is the GOAT. And okay, and what's Ibra doing?
He's playing better, and he's
okay. All right, and what's he winning? When we knock them out on Thursday, then what?
Relax, Neeks, relax.
Listen, speaking about Ronaldo anyway, as Hala Madrid in the comments says, let's praise Pepe. Pepe, 30, I want to say 38 years old.
37-ish, I think.
Yeah, going 38 now.
Okay.
Okay.
What a performance. I mean, again, we talk about Ronaldo, Messi at Real Madrid, and a lot of people didn't like him because when he was at Real Madrid, he was a bit of a brute. He would do things that were a bit snidey, kick out, a little jab here, get a yellow card, a red card.
He's a proper bastard. Right. He's a proper bastard, though, to be fair.
But he did what he knows what it is to win. And on that day, I'm looking at it, and I think Rios Ferdinand said it after. And I was just looking at it like, they don't make defenders like this anymore. There's a few of them, but generally, they just don't make defenders out there anymore who love to defend, whose first thought on the pitch is that ball is not going in the net. Ruben Diaz said it the other day, and he was like, my first thought is to stop the ball going in the back of the net. As a matter of fact, if the keeper has to make a save, I haven't done my job. And that at 23 years old, playing for a team in the way that Man City play, for me, I was just happy to hear that, because everyone now wants to play out from the back. I hear Man United linked to all these centre-backs, Upamecano, Koundé, Konate. I don't even watch all of them on a regular basis. But when I do, I'm just like, all right, what are they good at? Where they pass the ball out from the back, but they're quick. I'm like, defend first. So when I saw Pepe play yesterday, I'm just like, yeah, this is a real leader.
Yeah.
And I think Portugal got a good chance in the Euros with him at the back if he is starting for them at the back. Who wanted to come in?
Alongside Ruben Diaz as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Who wanted to come in? Was that?
But if you look, all right, I think the evolution of football has changed the centre back position a little bit. Because if you remember, even Real Madrid, example with Pepe, you had one guy that was chaotic and one guy that was calm. Ramos was the calmer.
Ramos wasn't calm.
Just
what, in comparison to Pepe?
Yeah, Ramos was the calm one.
I know what you mean, play style wise, but but they weren't.
And then when you look over to Barca, you had PK was the casual, the
crap one.
Yeah, and Puyol was warrior.
Yeah.
So, but now you all right, in football, Neeks can atone to this. You cannot have two calm centre backs. Nowhere. You just cannot.
No.
But now in football, it has so elevated that the ball has this and that. That you have to have these ball playing centre backs that they just can't. They can't only play the ball. They cannot defend.
Well, you look at John Stones. Before this season, the guy was just a ball playing centre back. He can just run out with the ball. Everything else apart from, out of the defending, he couldn't do. And I was just like, well, why did he cost 50 million? But I mean, Pep took him out of the team for a while. He's brought him back in, and now you're seeing someone who, yes, can play the ball, but his first thought is still, let's make sure that ball don't go in the back of the net. And when you've got the technical ability, if your intention is to stop getting the ball back in the net, your technical ability will come through. When you get on the ball, especially playing for a team like Man City, it will come through. But let me come to Father, in terms of that Juve Porto game. I mean, actually, the question is, was it a shock to you? Obviously, we know it's a massive Champions League shock, but were you shocked that Juve got knocked out?
No, not really. They were really poor yesterday. Not gonna lie, Morata had an awful stinker yesterday.
Oh, he always has a stinker, man.
He was having a stinker, bro.
That man is
Honestly,
always outside.
big up, and also big up to not only Pepe, but Sergio Oliveira, because
Yep.
that free kick, yeah. You know that free kick where under the leg of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Boy, I thought that. Remember when Chesney told him that don't go under the don't jump. What happened? Just Sergio Oliveira just banged 38 yards through the ball.
So the Chesney told him not to jump.
Like Chesney told him not to jump, literally.
Okay.
So
That's why he was so mad at the end.
He was so mad at them.
So are we blaming it on Christina?
See, it's people like you where you're like Christina. Call him Cristiano Ronaldo and we can have a proper discussion.
I got that from HH.
I know you did.
It's half
I know it is. All right. I think for me, okay, you tell me, Ahmad, who are you blaming that on? Let's talk about the goal. And in terms of the whole, the two legs, the tie, the fact they got knocked out, where do you lay the blame? Starting with the goal.
With the goals or the whole
No, the
thing?
first, the free kick, the last goal.
Ooh. The free kick is on the wall if it's true that Chesney wanted them to not jump. So it's on Rabiot and Cristiano Ronaldo because those two jumped.
And what about Chesney in terms of his keeping? Because I think his hands were weak.
Yeah, but let's say the wall.
Jack.
But let's assume that you said to the wall to not jump, and then you expected the goal to or the ball to come upwards, not
over the wall.
from
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a shock thing. And he was close to save it, but it wasn't enough. But it was a good free kick, to be honest, as well. We need to give the guy.
It's true. But that's fair enough. I think
On a serious note, Neeks, not only the performance that we need to ask, though. I think the signings that has been, over the years since Ronaldo came in, they literally never got past after a round of 16. Like, all right, you can say.
Oh, they haven't even got to when they got.
No, they got to the quarters against Ajax and then lost.
That one, yeah. But after that, like, you got to ask, like, the Juventus, the board, and that the signings that they got, the likes of Ramsey and that they gave I think someone yesterday
the ball Buffon back
for a week.
I think he's on 400 a week. I think Rabiot's on about the same. They did that. I mean, I don't know what it's about. I think they probably got the better end of the deal, but they did that trade with Arthur and Pjanic. It's just very weird transfers going on there.
I think Morata was the good signing.
I mean,
that was alone. That's alone.
Well, Morata's alone.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think my opinion with that Morata signing was a bit, last minute buy. But I just think again, I think when he left Atletico, he just want to come back to Juventus straight away. So I think it was Sarri who took him back to Juventus, but I'm not sure. Check that one out. But all in all, yesterday, like Morata, it's the same. Like that's the same that we always know about Morata. He's like.
Before I come to Shay, let me ask you, as a Chelsea fan, who's better or who's worse, even Werner or Morata?
Verse, like strictly honest, I just think at this moment, I would think Morata is the worst. I don't think that.
Wait. I'm a Chelsea fan as well. I would still rather have Morata, please.
Oh, you guys are comparing crap to crap.
For me. Yeah, pretty much.
I think they're both similar.
Bring back Bash.
They're getting good possessions, but they miss too many chances.
Go on, I mean, Morata lives offside, isn't it? So that's one of the biggest problems.
His movement is very, very good. He just can't finish for shit.
Well, he moves, but he moves too quick. I think even which goal was it? I think it was the second goal from Chiesa, where Morata would have been offside if it came to him because he just went too quick. Luckily for Chiesa, in the end, it doesn't matter. It didn't fall to him. But yeah, Shane, in terms of this game or the two legs, even, who do you pin the blame on more? Why they've gone now? Do you put it on the manager or do you put it on the players? No, the two legs. The fact that Juve are out in the last 16 to Porto.
Oh, you've got to put it on both of them. I think that in any loss, the blame's got to go to the manager and the players. I think you've got to give Porto a lot of credit though. Like They were down to 10 men for about an hour in that game, and they defended really, really well. They worked their socks off, and I actually felt they looked more threatening when they had the ball than Juventus did. But for that last goal, I think it's Ronaldo's fault because he's jumped and he's turned his back.
Yeah, and lifted one
He's
leg.
not even looking with
It was
his-
cowardly. It's like he was more scared about not being
Yeah.
hit than actually protecting
Yeah.
doing your job, basically.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, he was very bad. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched it when Chiesa scored the second goal because Dortmund were 2-0 up, and I was like, oh, that game's over. To be honest, Juventus, they're just not good. Like, I mean,
They're not.
they haven't got past the quarterfinals. In that time, they faced Ajax, Lyon, and Porto, 3 teams that they should probably be beating.
Exactly.
You know, I actually think what Man United are a better team than Juventus. I think Chelsea are miles better than them.
No,
I think
no,
they're-
no, no.
No,
Wait, can
I
comment?
think they're crap. I think they're crap.
Go on, Ahmed.
No, I actually disagree with all of you. Like, the transfer business of Juventus, I think, has been pretty good because they have good players if you really think about it. De Ligt, Kulusevski, Chiesa, Arthur, Rabiot. These are good players. There is a good core to have as a team. The thing is, I have 2 problems. First of all, why did you sign Ronaldo?
We
I
know you
get
hate
there was
Ronaldo.
maybe-
Where you go.
No, it was a market thing, I know. But the thing with Juventus over the years has been to fight to go to the finals. I know why Ronaldo suited them in that way. I think they lost a big part of their identity when they got to Ronaldo. And the other part is, why do you sign Pirlo? The guys haven't even managed. He has managed for 10 days and you get him in the job. It's similar to Lampard, crossing inshallah. If you watch the game,
Yeah,
the
literally.
only thing that
Quadrado.
Cuadrado and then get the ball to Morata or Ronaldo. The biggest mistake was to get Pirlo in because the guy is clueless. I have to be honest.
Well, this is it. I mean, again, you can blame Pirlo as an individual, but before that they had Sarri, and before that they had
Allegri.
Allegri before.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 managers, and again, I guess I don't know Pirlo's direct style of play, but Sarri ball is very specific. You bring in 3 managers in 3 years, basically, or 2 managers in 2 years. But over 3 years, you had 3 different managers, and they all play different styles of play. So even the players that you're mentioning that are good or whatever, we saw that a lot of them couldn't play the way that Sarri wanted. So you end up getting, I'm not gonna say round pegs and square holes, but you've got people that are not fit to do the job. So it's all good having good individuals, but if they can't play in the way that a manager wants, then you're always going to struggle. But I do agree that to bring in Pirlo with he didn't even have his coaching badges when they gave him the job. He didn't. He completed his coaching badges, I think, maybe 2 weeks after he got the job.
But this is worse than it's worse than a Lampard.
No, it is
Way
100%.
worse than Lampard.
100% it is, because Lampard at least had 1 year's work experience at Derby. Pirlo had nothing.
And the thing is, like, I agree with you. Sarri hasn't been successful in that way. But look at Juventus in the league. They're so inconsistent with Pirlo, and they can't play football as well.
Yeah, but
At
even
least
last
Sarri
year
had
they were lucky to win the league
Yeah,
last
but
year.
at least when you watch them, they have an identity how to play. Pirlo is
Juventus-
crossing
I
inshallah,
watched
playing
Juventus-
inshallah.
I watched Juventus a lot last year. They were shocking at times. It was literally Dybala was probably like their best player. Really, it was a lot of individualism from Juventus last season. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Didn't they not get battered by Atletico last year in the group stage where they drew 2-2? That's why they got battered in that game.
I can't remember.
I
I think they were 2-0 I think they were 2-0 up or something, and then
They were-
That
they
was
were
2 years
back.
ago.
They were lucky to win Serie A last year. They won it because I think the pandemic disrupted the likes of Lazio, who were on a brilliant run. Inter were just bottling it, like they were bottling it before the pandemic and after it. And their only hope of even winning it this year was Inter bottling it again. But it looks like Inter seem to have got their heads on head
You
together.
can't trust Inter, man. You can't
Wouldn't
trust
you
them.
I think.
you-
Go.
No, but wouldn't you agree? Like a big club like Juventus, because they are a very big club, probably one of the biggest in Italy. When you sack Sarri and if you have Ronaldo in your team, the goal is to win the Champions League always. Why do they sign Pirlo? It's like they are giving up on the Champions League.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pochettino was on
I
the
agree.
market.
I agree.
Like,
To be
Yeah,
fair, like
managers like
if
Pochettino
you're
was on the
signing
market.
Ronaldo, you want short-term success because of his age,
Yeah.
and you're bringing in a long-term manager. It doesn't make
But
sense.
no, but that's why I don't even understand the Sarri signing, because Sarri, to implement the way that he wants to play is gonna take time. Ronaldo ain't there for a long time; he's there for a good time. So even bringing in Sarri and then sacking Sarri after a year, which I think was the right decision, but I don't think you should have brought him in the first place, because it doesn't make sense. You want to win now, but you bring in someone who's probably going to win a bit later because of the way that he wants to play and the players that he's going to need. So I think the issue is definitely starts from the top. But what I would say, after Sarri got knocked out against Lyon, I was like, yeah, he's definitely gone. I think he was sacked maybe the next day or whatever it was. Yeah. I can't see them sacking Pirlo this year. Because when you bring in Pirlo, like when you bring in Lampard, like when you bring in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like when you bring in Arteta, you're bringing in managers who have not managed at the top level. You can't expect those managers to come in and be successful straight away. Therefore, you bring them in knowing that it's going to be rocky, knowing that you're going to have to give them time. So if they were to sack Pirlo after one season, for me, it would just stink and say that the board don't have a clue what they're doing at the moment. I think you have to give him at least one more season.
But if Nagelsmann becomes available, what are you saying then?
For what, for Juve?
Yeah,
it depends what the. No, keep going.
No,
that's a question. Yeah, that's a question. If Nagelsmann is available,
It depends what Juve want. If they want long-term success, then yeah, obviously go for Nagelsmann. But
yeah,
I don't know what the direction is, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I think that, to be honest, I just think they've got a really bad squad. I mean, Bonucci is, God knows, how old is he? 34, I think he is. I think Chiellini's around the same. Buffon's still there. Alexandro's 30. Ronaldo's obviously, I think he's 36.
36. How old is Quadrado?
Who else do they have? Yeah, 30-something as well.
32 or something.
Who else do they have? The ball is going to get older as well. I think he's
Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey. Like, I mean,
Rabiot's 25, isn't he?
Rabiot's young enough, to be fair.
How old is Ramsey? Ramsey's 30, isn't it?
Yeah, Rabiot's 25.
Yeah, Ramsey's 30, yeah.
But my point is that they just have a really, really, old squad. I think that if someone like Nagelsmann comes in, they're going to have to get rid of a lot and bring in a lot, and you can't really do that in this current market at the moment, because I'm pretty sure Juventus don't have much money, so they've got to be smart with their business. And to be honest, if I'm Paul Pogba, why would you go there? Just stay at United. Why would you go there?
This is it, because I think there's a lot of transfers that we're thinking about, and there's a comment in there which I'm going to bring up from Jabada. There's a lot of transfers that we're thinking about this summer. We're going to get onto Haaland, Mbappe, Salah, Mane, Paul Pogba, players that probably will be leaving soon, want to leave now, whatever. But the market ain't really there to allow them to move this summer with all the COVID. There's a comment here from Jabal that says, "Oh my God, Ahmad's Cristiano CR7 issue sounds personal. Imagine PSG replacing Mbappe with CR7 when he eventually leaves. That would be hilarious." I mean, Ahmad would probably go get a shirt. That's the first thing. He then starts saying Ronaldo's the GOAT. So that would change. I would
demonstrate.
But I think the only way how long is Ronaldo going to stay at Juve under the regime of Pirlo, which doesn't look like it's going to reap any rewards anytime soon? But equally, who's going to go out and buy him? Because, like me personally, if you said Ronaldo's on the market, what we're talking 70. I don't actually. To be fair, I don't know how much he would go.
I don't think it's realistic for him to move.
No, you say that, but I mean, the thing is, because it's marketability, you're paying for that. Really, even forget what because he's still going to score 20, 25 league goals a season. But
I don't see a team buying him. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Who's actually going to go out and buy him? So Juve are kind of stuck with him anyway. Yeah. No, yeah, Man United got a director of football now. Woodward ain't deciding, so things are.
Yeah, but Darren Fletcher's teammates with him. I'd love to bring him back. I'd love it.
Things are changing. What was the other game? Liverpool, Leipzig. So obviously Liverpool 2-0 from the first leg, 2-0 on the second leg.
Neeks, it was a small fest in the first half.
What are you saying, Ahmed?
I need to go. Sorry.
That's all right, man.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man.
I think the first half was a bit slow first, but second half, yeah, Liverpool back to the same old. I just think Leipzig, again, the final third are so bad tonight. So, yeah, credit to Liverpool too.
I think Liverpool were just lucky that it wasn't at Anfield because if it was, they would have lost. So
No, Leipzig was shocking. They
no,
were
they were.
shocking.
I mean, they were shocking in both legs. Like in the first leg, at least they created a few chances, but again, both times they just missed chances. Liverpool.
No, they didn't have that many chances today. They moved the ball so slow.
No, but I said even the chances that they had, they missed. But Liverpool missed a lot of chances themselves. Like Liverpool probably could have been, should have been even 1 or 2-0 up at half time.
Yeah.
And then Salah finally scored, and then obviously Mane got his goal. I was saying, if Leipzig scored first, they had a chance.
Yeah.
But the longer the game went on, I was just like, Leipzig ain't scoring. It's not coming. There's no way. Hala Madrid, he says Koundé and Upamecano equals 6-month wonders. Everyone gets excited about them, but every time I see Upamecano come up against Premier League opposition, the man's getting ripped and turned and spun.
This might be controversial. I actually thought Upamecano did okay today.
Until he got ripped and spun. Who made a mistake in the first leg? No, was that Konate?
It was Mukiele.
Yeah. It was Mukiele, to be fair, in that first leg. Yeah.
Upamecano's going to Bayern in the summer anyway. Yeah, he said I'm concerned about some of the defenders that I hear we're linked with. I just don't know. Like even the Ruben Diaz that went to Man City, nobody was really talking about him. It just like everyone talking about Koulibaly, and then boom, Man City go up, proper scouting, proper recruitment, boom.
Neeks, I will say this though. City did want Koundé over Diaz. They did want Koundé. So
Koundé?
He's not.
Yeah, they did actually.
They wanted Koundé.
They did.
Okay, yeah. I know they wanted Koulibaly. I didn't know they wanted
Koundé as well. I remember Fabrizio was talking about in the summer.
They had a 4-man shortlist. I think it was Koulibaly first. I think I can't remember who was second. It might have been Jimenez from Atletico. Then I think it was Koundé. Then it was Diaz. So like he's not a bad player. To be honest, he's quite lucky because he can't get into the French now.
He got bullied yesterday.
He can't get into the
French national team.
Yeah, he can't get into it. But to be fair, they've got so many good centre backs.
They've got some decent centre backs. So Kimpembe is there. Laporte can't get in. Laporte can't get into the French. Not even the squad. Yeah. Like he doesn't even get called up. So obviously they got their players in it. But yeah, Koundé yesterday, for the first goal. Yeah, he got bullied. I can't remember who it was who came across and just barged him out of the way like he wasn't even there.
I know he's about.
Yeah, I can't. And then they obviously gave it to.
I can't remember his name. Is it the Danish one? The Danish one. I can't remember.
Oh, Delaney.
No. Delaney. Yeah,
that's
Delaney.
it.
What was it? Was it him? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Hannah just said Spanish press said Koundé to City was done. Obviously, that wasn't the case. But yeah, I mean, Dortmund did what they had to do in the end. I mean, they went 2-0 up.
Haaland's a fraud.
They went 2. Well, how is Haaland?
Can we even address this? This Haaland versus Mbappe thing. They're just trying to do the Ronaldo versus Messi 2.0. It's so forced, man. It's not every day like this guy against this guy. It's like, come on, man.
They have to have narratives. They have to. But what are you saying? Are you saying
not even the best youngsters in the world?
Well, okay. Who's the best youngsters in the world?
Rashford.
The thing is with me, I think those two are. I think they are the future of football, and it's what I'll go back to earlier. Goal scorers. It are the main.
Neeks, that's what you said last week. That Sancho's better than Haaland.
Shane, let me finish. Shane, let me finish my sentence. Let me put myself on the big screen. Those two are the future of football because goal scorers it's the currency. When people score goals, their name are in heaven.
I hate that.
What is it? Listen, it is what it is. It's always been like that.
I like to appreciate everybody in football.
I appreciate them. You give them a little, you give them a tick. Well done. But
man,
like the golden boot. There's been a golden boot since time immemorial because who scored the most goals? Now they start doing these little assists, this and clean sheet, golden glove. No one cares. It's the golden boot. Who scored the most? You scored the most. All right, you get the golden boot. But
can I say something though?
One second. But so those two are the future of football because they are just going to score a hell of a lot of goals. They've already done it. But as I was going to say before Shane interrupted me, I think Sancho's better than both of them. As a footballer, Sancho is better than both of them. And on top of the in terms of the football aspect, he's putting up the numbers. He's getting the goals, obviously not to their rate, and he's providing the goals as well, creating the chances. So overall, because I was saying, actually suggestions that you got Messi, Ronaldo, and then Neymar's like just there, the third best, but you can't break that barrier. I think you're gonna have Mbappe and Haaland. But for me, Sancho ain't below them. Sancho is right there. So I think it's going to be between
This is
the
where I
three
disagree,
of them.
though.
Why?
I disagree. To be honest, I do like Sancho, but in terms of, you mentioned Sancho's a better footballer. I think he links the play up better than Mbappe. But I don't think he's a better dribbler.
He
In
is
my
a better
opinion, I
dribbler.
don't think he dribbles.
He's a better
Yes,
dribbler.
dribbler.
He's
No,
a better
in
dribbler.
tight spaces, yes. In tight spaces, yes, but I don't think he dribbles with the ball quicker than Mbappe, if that makes
But
sense.
to me, it's just to clarify, to me, if you can dribble in a tighter, a more confined area, in my opinion, you're a better dribbler. But I just wanted to go back to Neeks' point. And your GOAT manager said, attack wins you games, but defenses win you titles. I rest my case, innit? We gotta respect our defenders, innit?
And one defender's won the Ballon d'Or ever. Cannavaro.
Yeah, because it's just a bias against attacking players. people don't want to watch the game. They just want, he scored the.
I did a whole video, and I'm a Man United fan. I did a whole video on why Van Dijk should have won the Ballon d'Or over Messi. Because for me, forget position, I think his influence over that Champions League Liverpool side was bigger and more important than Messi's influence over the Barcelona side that Van Dijk's Liverpool beat in the semi-final. So for me, I was like, Van Dijk should have won it. But again, when you talk about Liverpool, Van Dijk's great. But who wins the Golden Boot at the end? It's Salah, it's Mane, it's whatever. So I don't make the rules, in it. I don't make the rules. It just is. It is what it is. At the end of the game, who are we talking about? Mbappe, Haaland. Every game, Mbappe, Haaland.
Wait, Josh, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that defenders should get more recognition. So by that logic, is Upamecano going to be better than Mbappe and Haaland?
No. To be honest, I've never really been on the massive like Upamecano like hype train like that. In all honesty, but
let's say Diaz then.
Who?
Ruben
Diaz.
Diaz.
Let me ask you a question before you even answer that. Who would you say are the contenders, or if it was decided today, who should win PFA Player of the Year in the Premier League?
My top three nominees would be Diaz would be there. I'd have to put Kane. I have to put Kane.
Say it.
I mean, Bruno.
Oh, so yeah, that's it. That's what you're waiting for. I don't know why you're waiting so long.
He has to be there. Yeah. Grealish is another as well. Gundogan as well. Like there's a few in it. There's a few.
And would you say, if you were to award it today, who would you give it to?
I would give it to Diaz. I would actually give it to Diaz.
Okay.
No, I agree.
I would give this. I would done it too as well. Yeah. I'd give it to Diaz though.
I'm giving it to Bruno. I mean, call me biased, innit?
I know you're a biased person.
So call me biased, but what the man has been doing, and yes, respect Diaz, brilliant. He's been brilliant. They're 14 points clear of us. They've got a brilliant defensive record. But Stones has also been good. Cancelo's been brilliant. Edison's had a good season. Fernandinho's moved back into midfield. Rodri's been good. So there's a lot of players, even before we get to the attack with Gundogan, who's had a very, very good season. And I think I'm not gonna say it's easier for him, but he's shining in a very good team. Bruno is having to really carry and drag Man United, along with Rashford at times, but drag Man United like he did last year in the top four to second place, the best of the rest. Now, I'm not saying when this
Shaw's been performing as well. You know, let's not.
No,
let's
yeah,
not.
to be fair, Shaw's done his thing. There's three of them. Shaw, Bruno, Rashford, and a lot of people say Rashford ain't even played well. He just got big moments. So if you want to say that, cool. But I think Bruno's definitely top two for me. Definitely top two. Kane's been
I was say this
done well,
Neeks.
but he's definitely top two.
You mentioned John Stones though. I think John Stones is playing that well because of Diaz.
No, and
agree.
there's an element to it, but at some point you have to credit John Stones as well as an individual.
Oh no, I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying one of the factors is because of Diaz. Like if it was Laporte and Stones, I don't think he'd be seeing John Stones perform the way he is. So Diaz is just like a leader. You know what I mean? He just has that impact to why City are top of the league. That's why I think I would go for him. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the arguments for Bruno, but like, he's not. We haven't achieved anything with him. We haven't.
Okay, that's fair enough. But the PFA Player of the Year clearly isn't based on what you achieve, and I'll tell you why. Because in 2018, Man City got the Centurions, and Salah won the PFA Player of the Year. 2019, Man City won the Premier League, and Van Dijk won PFA Player of the Year. Then last season, Liverpool won the Premier League, and Kevin De Bruyne won PFA. So it's not like clearly the PFA, and I don't like that. I think when it's so close between two players, the one who for me led their team to the trophy should get a bit more recognition, because even though you both had a brilliant impact or similar impact, but yours resulted in something at the end, whereas yours was just in and of itself. I think it should, but precedence tells me that people disregard the trophy that you win, and it's purely based on just individual performance. And on that note, for me, Bruno should win. But if you go by what I would hope it should be or would be, then I would give it to Diaz. But I don't make the rules, do I? Let me go some of these comments before we wrap up. It's just gone over an hour. Jabada says, in my opinion, Cannavaro only won the Ballon d'Or because FIFA had to set an example and not go with Zidane because of the sending off. That was Zizou's Ballon d'Or, most definitely. However, the Ballon d'Or at the time wasn't involved with FIFA. It was purely France football. That only changed in 2009 for about a 10-year period. But I get that to an extent. However, Cannavaro won the La Liga with Real Madrid. I know Zidane was there, and then won the World Cup, beating obviously France in the final, and they had a brilliant defensive record. Him and Buffon were brilliant in that tournament. So I fully understand why Cannavaro won that. Mohammed says, Neeks, I've come to the realization as a United fan, we'll never get any players chosen. It's been like this since treble winning. Not a single player in the squad won Ballon d'Or. I think Beckham came third. No, 2008. In 2008, yeah, correct. But 1999, Beckham came third. Rivaldo, I think he was. Rivaldo won in 1999. But there's a lot of seasons. Man United won 13 league titles, and there's a lot of seasons where we don't have a player that's won the PFA Player of the Year because it's like, Ginola had a great season, or Les Ferdinand, or Kevin Phillips. So yeah, and they're playing for teams that wasn't even challenging at the time. Matthias Fernandez says Bruno equals elite mentality, almost instant progression within the team, clutch moments, etc. Diaz has been immense. I do rate him highly. Guys, that's it. That's the UCL Champions League roundup. Dortmund through, Liverpool through, Porto through. Who am I thinking? PSG through, Messi and Ronaldo out of the Champions League at the last 16 stage. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. Share the content, and we will see you soon. Thank you to all the panel for joining me today.